Okay, today we're going to do 922. How can I calculate the portion? We're going to be talking about two different races. There's one about a team of dogs that pull a sled across the state of Alaska. This is called the Iditarod, and if you want to Google it and watch a video, it's pretty cute. And then there's the thing called the Ironman triathlon, which involves swimming, biking, and running. And we're going to do 40, 42, 43. So 940 says Grant is training for the Ironman triathlon, 140-mile race. Starts with a swim, continues with a biking portion, and ends with a run. The swimming portion is approximately 1.5% of the race, so not a lot. Most of it is biking. Only 1.5% of it's swimming. The biking portion covers 80% of the race, and the running is 18.5% of the race. So we're going to try to determine the approximate length of each segment. Be sure to show your work. So let's draw, I assume, a number line. And we're going to make the total 140 miles. And then we're going to break it into 20%, say, and approximate how far each of those three things are. So let me stop the share and go over to my whiteboard right here. And let's draw a number line. And we have 0 to 140 miles. And we have 0 to 100%. So the whole race is 140 miles. And we're gonna make 20 markings at every 20 miles. Or not every 20 miles, 20%. So 2, 4, 6, say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is 20%. This is 40%. This is 60%. And this is 80%. So as far as the miles go, 20% of 140 miles is 14 times 2. So this is 28 miles. Now I've gone and switch them. Let me fix that. Sorry about that. 140 miles and 100%. That's better. And then I'm going to double that to get to my 40%. And that is 56 miles. And then I'm going to put another 28 on top of that. And I'm going to get 84, I think. Another 28 on top of that. 212, and another 28 on top of that is 140. So we had 18.5% of the race, which is about here. Well, start with the lowest one. So here's 10%, here's 5%, here's 1%. So 1.5% equals the swimming. And if this is 140 miles, and this is 14 miles, 7, I'm going to just say 2 miles. That's my guess. And my 18% is less than 28 miles, so I'm going to say 25 miles for the running. This was 18.5%. And then at the whopping 80%, we had the bike ride. So that's probably not really an estimate. I think that is how far the bike ride is. So let's, now those are our estimates. Now they want us to really find it out. How can we figure 10% of the race, 1% of the race? So 10% of the race is right here at 14 miles. And 1% of the race is 1.4. Doesn't ask us to write the exact portion, but I believe I do have the exact portion. So I'm going to write that down for you. 2.1 is the exact miles of swimming, and running is 25.9 miles, and the bike ride is 112. So that was exact. Okay, good. No, fun. Now let's look at numero 42. Share screen. How many minutes? 6 minutes. Okay, doing good. 2 more. 42. When Ruby learned about the Ironman triathlon, she decided to create her own race with several different parts. Okay. She decided that the skateboard portion of her race would be 0.25 miles. So a quarter of a mile. There would also be a tricycle portion. Another part of the race would be a 1 mile run. So she's gonna have 3. She's gonna have skateboarding, tricycling, and running. And the skateboard section is 10% of the race. How long is the race? Okay, so it's very similar to this triathlon. So let's use a number line. And we don't know how long her race is. We just know the portions. So here is from, do I want the percents on the bottom? Yeah, 0% to 100% of her race. And we know that 0.25 miles is 10%. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be my 10%. And I know this is 0.25 miles because they told us. So these are both given. Another part of the race would be a mile run. So we have skate, trike, and run. And we have 1 mile, 0.25 miles. And I think our tricycle is unknown. Should have probably made it T. Let's make it T just for fun. Tricycle. Okay, so if the skateboard section is exactly 10% of the race, how long is the race? So if this is 10% and the race is 100%, I need to multiply 2.5 times 10. And I'm just going to move the decimal over 1. So 2.5 or 0.25 by 10, sorry. So the entire race is 2.5 miles. The tricycle section, now they tell us the tricycle section is 0.4 miles. What percentage of the race is that? 0.4 miles out of a total of 2.5. You can take your calculator, you can get it, and divide 0.4 by 2.5. You can just put that in on your calculator. So here we go. 0.4 divided by 2.5, still on my speaker, equals 0.16. So we're going to say that the tricycle is 16%. This is percent, right? I mean, we can rewrite it as 16%. So the tricycle is 16% of the race, and it is 0.4 miles. So now we actually do know that it's not an unknown. That was letter B. Letter C, I guess I can, oh, I'm just still sharing with you. You probably can't see the board as well. So I'll read this one and then I'll show you the board. Estimate what portion of the total race length the 1 mile run will be. Well, that's not going to be too hard to estimate. Okay, so we have a 1 mile run and we have a 2.5 mile race. So estimating, it's not half of the race, because half it would be a 2 mile race. So it's 50 plus a portion of that half of a mile. Should we estimate it at? Maybe we should draw something on our diagram. If we have, let me choose another color, blue. If we have 10% right here, this is my 10%. This is 0.25 miles. And I want to know what portion would be the 1 mile segment. No, let's just go with less than 50%. Yeah, that seems like it's fine for the book. Less than 50%. Students calculate by adding the two percentages. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, D says, work with your team to draw a diagram representing, how much time do we got? 11 minutes. Draw a diagram representing the entire race. Place each of the events on the diagram. Your results and percentages still make sense. Okay, so if they all add up to be 100%, then yeah, they do. So we have 0.25 miles for this first 10%, which was the skate. Then we have 0.4 miles for the tricycle, which is 16%. So this is 20. So let's say this is 16% right here. So in here, I'm going to write 0.4 miles. Uh-oh, it's supposed to be like that. This is the tricycle. So this is the skateboard. They're kind of on top of each other here. And then the mile is 40%. So from here to here is the running. What a mess. And then E says, I forgot the scooter. Oh no, the scooter is the last portion of the race. How long does it have to be? So that's right. We have 40, so far we have 40% plus 16% plus 10%. So we're missing 60. We are missing a percentage of the race. What's 100 minus 66? We don't know. 34. 34% of the race is the scooter. And since 1% of the race is 2 point, can we do 0.025 times 34? What? No. Oh, Jesus. The scooter portion is 0.84. Did I add this up right? 34% of the race is 0.85 miles. I'm lost. Okay, we don't have much time left. Call me. You want me to go over that last one? Here we go. 43. Okay, cool. Here's the Iditarod race across Alaska each year from Anchorage to Nome. At every rest stop throughout the race, a veterinarian checks each team of dogs. Copy and complete the table. Oh, this is easy. So here we have a distance. These are the sections. And if we know 20% is 220, I know 10% is 110, right? So I could set up my ratio